Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the RAMBAM is Hakdama to MISHNEH Torah, the Messiah, the transmission of the Torah itself. Kol HaChachamim she'omdu achar chibra HaTalmud, all of the Chachamim, the sages, who came after the codification of the Talmud, ubanu bai v'yetze lahem sham b'chachmasam, and they learned it and they understood it with their chachma, with their wisdom. Hema nikraim Geonim, they're called the Geonim, like the geniuses, the great ones. And we're talking over here about a time period of 4,461 till 4,791. So we're talking about 270 years approximately of this great period that was going on, where Klal Yisrael was steiging away, where they were learning deep into the Gemara. Now, it has to be understood, the Gemara itself, the Talmud itself that was written, was also cryptic and succinct, and it required a tremendous amount of learning, amelis, hard work, erudition, of chachma, of wisdom, of great minds, to be able to understand clearly what it says inside the Talmud, and then be able to give that over and relay that to their students. Those are the Geonim. The Kol Eila Geonim Shamdu Be'eretz Yisrael. These Geonim, you would find them either in Eretz Yisrael, or Be'eretz Shinar, which is Bavel, Babylonia, or Be'Safarad, which is Spain, or Be'Tzarfas, which is France. Lamdu Derech HaTalmud V'Hitziu La'or HaTalumoisav, or Bi'ura Inyanov, they had a way to learn the Talmud, and they would bring to light ta'alumoisav, that stuff that was hidden within the words that was hard to understand, and they would explain things clearly. Lefi shederech amuka darchai ad l'ma'id. They had a very deep way in which to get in to the kishka, so to speak, of the Gemara, to be able to understand it and give it over. V'ha'itchu b'lashon arami. First and secondly, it was written in Aramaic, ma'uravim alashon acherus, which was mixed up. Aramaic is a combination, apparently, says the Rambam, of other languages, and in the places where the people were learning, as we're going to see, they were not speaking Aramaic. This language, Aramaic, was something that was clear to everybody living in Shinar, living in Bavel. But that was only at the time that they actually wrote the Talmud. But in all other places in the world at that time, and so too in Shinar and Bavel, in the times of the Geonim, ein adam makir oisa lashon ad shemalamdim oisa. They would not recognize or understand this language of Aramaic until somebody taught it to them. The shailas Rabbi shoylin anshe kol ir v'ir. The people of every city asked many, many questions. L'kol going to each one of these great people. Shiva Yemeim that were in their days. L'farsh them devarim kashim shem Talmud, in order to explain to them the difficult parts of the Talmud. And every one of the Geonim would answer according to his own wisdom and understanding. And those that asked the questions, and they would get the answers from the Geonim, they would then begin to compile svarim, books, that were the tshuvas, were the answers to all of their questions. And in every generation, the Geonim, they would write their own works that would explain the Talmud. Some of them would write about specific halachas, and some of them would write perushim, would write explanations about some of the more difficult chapters that we have in Shas, that were difficult in their days. And there were those who would write books, write svarim, that were explaining whole mesechtas, whole tractates, and sidarim, and orders that we have in Shas. And therefore they were busy. They were busy writing these things. And they would also write works that explain clearly in halacha what is permitted and what is asur. Which person is going to be obligated for doing the wrong thing? He'll be exempt if he did such a thing. But the in these things that the people needed to know at that time, so they would have an understanding. MISHNEH Talmud says the Rambam, and he's bringing out a very important point over here. The reason that the Geonim were beginning to clarify everything as succinctly and as clear as they possibly could was because there were many people in the later generations who simply did not have the time to be able to learn Torah day and night. Their chachma, their wisdom was not on the level of Geonim or previous generations, and therefore they might not arrive at the halacha l'maisa, the actual halacha that they're supposed to keep based on what it says in the Talmud. And therefore the Geonim began to be mefarsim, they began to reveal in their svarim, in their works, the halacha is like this and it's not like this. This you're allowed to do, this you cannot do. If you do this, you're going to be responsible, there'll be a consequence. If you do this, you're going to be punished, you'll be exempt. They did it for the sake of Klal Yisrael, that we should know how to live according to what it says in the Torah. We have much more to say. We'll continue Be'ez Hashem tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.